Oh my God! A bunch of drag queens playing Dungeons and Dragons. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it. Well, welcome. We are Dungeons and Drag Queens, which means that we are 6 drag queens playing the game of Dungeons and Dragons. Who of you has ever played Dungeons and Dragons? Raise your hand. Yeah? Oh, that's a big crowd. Okay, well, you're gonna love this then. Who has never played Dungeons and Dragons? Oh, okay. They're also, yeah. Well, Dungeons and Dragons is where a group of players of the game immerse themselves in a fantasy story. They are going to use improv theater to play the story that we present, and we are the game masters of the story, which means, well, we sort of know what's going to happen. But we don't, because it's improvisation theater, right? Which also means that you're not looking at a theater play. Get rid of that out of your mind right now. This is not a theater play. This, you're looking at a Dungeons and Dragons session. Good, we created this project because we felt that there needed to be a space for queer gamers and queers, to also meet each other in the same room. Who here is a gamer? You are a gamer? Oh, good. Who's a queer? Queer people, raise your hands. Very nice. Queer gamers. Yeah, oh, very good. Then you're gonna love this. Oh, good. Do you see this? Do you see this die? We have a little bit of a small stage, so I think we have a solution. I think you're gonna roll the die for us, right? Oh, you wanna get your hands on this? Yeah, you wanna get your hands on this? Good, you can. Nice. You there, come on the stage. Come. Pick up the die. Woo! That's a critical one, almost. You saw that, yeah. Nice. Good. Well, walk to the stage. And I'm going to introduce my players to you at the roll of the first die. Yeah, are you ready? Almost? Are you ready, Merlijn? Very good. Then let's start Dungeons and Drag Queens.
More tea, sister?
Oh, please.
How's your day?
It was adequate.
Say
what?
Shouldn't we talk about what happened?
No.
I mean, to them.
No. This is a family matter.
I mean, they're practically family. If you want.
Surely they don't have the time.
Oh, nonsense. You just got here. Tea?
Well, if we're going to tell it, I really want to start from the beginning.
Go ahead.
Listen up, new kid. This is how it all went down.
Doran, Montclair, and Alberia. These are the three provinces that make up the world of Toussaint. The lower lands of Doran and Alberia are inhabited by humans, while the Rust Mountains of Montclair are inhabited by elves. But for the longest of times, there was peace between the two worlds. Until 50 years ago, the Alberian Empire invaded the rural Doran out of nowhere. They stood little chance against the Empire's advanced military and were quickly subdued, and soon enough, the Empire turned their eyes northward. The elves, born with the gift to harness magic, warned the Empire, cross the border and nothing will be held back in your destruction. This threat started a tense cold war that lasted for 8 years, which ended when a terrible plague hit the borderlands known as the Fine Line. The land was poisoned irreparably without anyone knowing the plague's cause. What would later be known as the Cobalt Crisis caused all fruit and produce to turn a vile cobalt blue, and those who consumed it would wither and die within a week's time. Due to mounting political tensions and public turmoil, the Great War commenced. Terrible, inhumane crimes were committed during it, especially due to an ideological hate group known only as Ratio. Ratio sent elite guerrilla troops, known as witch hunters, to the borderlands to systematically destroy what remained of the elves on the Fine Line. However, the elven mages of Montclair are very powerful and managed to stand their ground for 5 full years until a peace treaty was forced by immense losses on both sides due to famine, sickness, and battle. However, the tensions between the provinces were never truly resolved. Now, 20 full years later, after the Cobalt Crisis, both sides are still recovering from the Great War. The lands have been cleansed, but the wounds are still fresh. And one question still rests on everyone's lips. Who or what started the Cobalt Crisis? And in the middle of this chaos, in an old decrepit estate in Doran, sits a group of misfits, trying to live ordinary lives in this unordinary world. These are the protagonists of our story.
In the province of Doran stands an old and decrepit mansion. The once so magnificent house now stands slightly crooked, but still proud and tall atop the Doranese hillsides. Although it's in a terrible shape, with rotting wooden beams and holes in the roof, it is joyously covered in brightly colored paint and weird symbols. It's a bright summer day, where our story begins, and as the sunlight hits the mansion from the hillsides, it stands out as a small miracle between the brownish farmland surrounding it. The mansion belongs to 2 women who live there, the fabled twin witches, Virgo and Margot Lavorn. The gift of magic is extremely rare in anyone other than elves, and the Lavorns are especially gifted, which makes the eccentric mansion even stranger. The Lavorns returned from hiding to their family house after the witch hunts during the Great War ended. After being on the run all throughout their childhoods, they swore to create a home for themselves that would last forever. Throughout the years, however, many have found their way to the Lavorns seeking a new home. Outcasts and misfits, but also other witches. These eccentrics now live together as family in this house, unable to return to regular society. The house gives them a refuge of sorts and a family. Our story starts in the back garden of the Lavorn mansion, where preparations are being made for the celebration of the Feast of Plenty, a small festival held at this house where the farmers of Doran and the borderlands, except for the elves, celebrate once a year that the Cobalt Crisis has been ended. The Sisters Lavorn traditionally host these festivities as a show of good faith to the Doranese people. Today is just an ordinary day in unordinary lives, and where the farmers have gathered their carts to travel to the Lavorn mansion, most of the mansion's inhabitants are still fast asleep, peacefully, unknowing of what will come.
Asleep, guys. Good.
Close your eyes.
Thank you. We had 1 cue this show.
Already going wrong. But the greatest stories start at the most unexpected of times. As the morning sun hits the garden in the mansion, 2 women in black dresses walk over the path slowly that circles the Lavorn mansion. The garden is lined by an ornate iron gate, blossoming plants curling around its crooked bars. One of the two women cradles a basket of seeds, and as she scatters them around her, buds arise from the ground, almost instantaneously, within a moment's notice before blossoming into colorful flowers. The other, pushing a set of round glasses further up her nose, seems to be taking notes of wherever the seeds land.
Virgo, how far do you think the other group has gotten already?
Well, the Witches' Association is a day's travel at least. I think they must have passed Old Mustard's barn by now.
Why did we have to send our children to the Witches' Association? It's so dangerous, especially now.
Margot, everything will be fine. There's nothing to worry about yet.
No, but it's just so much on our mind. We have to organize this whole feast of plenty, appease to the farmers, and now this reporter is coming to do this report in this house. And I don't know, Virgo. But
Margot, it's not worth the energy. We don't know anything yet.
Right.
It could just be that they're writing a nice article about this time. Plus, we already know her.
Yes.
Deep breaths, and let's continue the day.
Do you think we should wake up the children? It's almost time.
Well, surely they've woken up by themselves by now.
Well, I wouldn't count on that.
From the gardens, you can almost see into the bedrooms on the second and third floors of the mansion. And as the dawn begins to rise, sunlight peeks through the blinds as a new day begins. You, the players, slowly awake to the clanging of pots and pans downstairs. It is early, and for some of you, way too early. You've lived in this house for a long time, some of it shorter, but for each of you, the mansion is home, and the Lavorns are family. Today, it's time for the Feast of Plenty, which is held every year, where the local community celebrates that the Great Famine is over. The Cobalt crisis was the historical peak of hatred between humans and elves, and everyone's glad it's over.
Humans and elves really hate each other.
Yes.
Yeah. So, as the sunlight peers through your curtain and hits you quite annoyingly in the eye, you have no choice but to wake up. Oh, and it is quite early. It is maybe 8 in the morning. For some of you, definitely too early. Yeah. But as a new day begins, some of you are quite excited for the Feast of Plenty. Feast of Plenty, which is to appease the farmers and to celebrate that the Cobalt crisis, the great famine which killed so many people 20 years ago, is over. As you rise from your bed, look around your room.
Oh, that's the cue.
I thought we had these cues.
Oh my god. You take your good time to prepare yourself, get yourself ready, and then you meet each other on the first floor of the Lavorn mansion, where you've been living now, some for longer, for Jessica 1 year. And you encounter each other.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And how did we all sleep?
Good?
Was good?
Yeah.
Quite well, I suppose. Had some dreams.
Please do enlighten us, Maru.
It was very inspirational. It had to do with the festival.
Was I in it?
Sure. Of course. Yes. Star of the show.
Well, I, for one, am just so thankful that the sun is shining today.
It's-
The gods are looking down on us with open hearts on this incredibly important day.
Can you ask the gods to tone it down a bit?
I'm not entirely sure it works that way.
For some of you, this hasn't been your first Feast of Plenty. You all have your sort of own memories with this Feast of Plenty. And as you stand on the first floor, you hear a voice calling you down, saying, "Girls! Girls! It's almost beginning! Are you awake?"
Shoot.
It seems they may be stressed again. We should probably go down and lend a hand as quickly as possible.
Yes, stick to the schedule.
Lend a
The
hand.
schedule?
Of course there's a schedule.
I think she just wrote it in her dreams.
In my dreams, I do art. With you all, I make schedules. Hurry up. Come on.
Okay.
I'm tired again. Thank you.
So as you walk down the stairs, everybody roll dexterity saving. No, just kidding.
What?
Already, sorry. I'm so excited.
Well, we're wearing heels, so yeah.
No, as you go down the stairs, you meet these two women, Virgo and Margot, sitting in the living room, having their breakfast. And as you enter this living room, full draped with these, what is it, like dusty old carpets, a little bit shabby furniture, but it's a pretty loungy space.
Well, I mean, we have a person who does the descriptions there.
Oh,
You know?
why don't you then?
Damn.
Well, as you head down the beautiful, spacious spiral staircase of the mansion, the living room opens up before you. Old, disheveled chandeliers hang from the ceiling.
I forgot the chandeliers, yeah.
Yes,
Good.
exactly. This is why we have these rolls.
Okay.
Painted over wallpapers, slowly curling off the walls, and it's not in a great state. The furniture has seen better days, and there's some springs coming out of them.
Looks fine.
Yeah,
Looks fine.
exactly.
Fine.
Still, sitting homely at the huge kitchen table are the twin sisters, Virgo and Margot of Warren.
All right, there you are. Good. Are you all, ready? Yeah?
Well, as ready as we're
Always.
going to be.
Oh,
Wait!
Well, I hope you're well rested, because we've a big day in front of us.
I am.
good.
Right.
Now I am.
We have something to tell you, girls. We just got the letter this morning. In addition to the festival, will be the reporter Deidre Bonbon. You know
What?
Deidre?
Oh,
Did you what?
It's quite a large name.
Do we
Yeah,
know
she
Deidre?
writes for the Daily Scribe.
Ooh,
The Daily Scribe.
Well,
really?
Yeah, she's gonna do a report for the Witches Association.
Well,
Am I
guess
gonna
you're
be
from
in
the big
it?
city. You must have heard of her.
No.
Well, girls, it is very important. Everything goes well today because, you know, the Witches Association really dictates how witches should live, especially after witch hunting has been made illegal. We're very thankful, but the Witches Association has us under good control, good monitor. So please, everything has to go well, and Deidre must be appeased. You must be pleased.
Don't worry.
Please, not any of your old tricks.
I've got it.
All
Cause
tricks.
I'm Jessica Gill.
Oh my.
What does that mean?
Look, we're already attracting way too much attention in these last years. We've been pushing the code of conduct a little. If they revoke our license, we'll have to give up the house. This is no laughing matter.
No, I'd really like to stay living here, together with you. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't worry. I have a plan, and a plan B, and a plan Z. There's also Omega in case of fire, and Alpha in case that annoying boy Finn returns from the village.
Oh, not Finn again.
Eli,
Exactly.
are you doing well? You mean last year you were, like, beaten by these men at the Feast of Plenty?
Yeah, it was a rather traumatic time, actually. But the sun is shining and the gods are looking on me with open hearts, as I've said it to my sisters earlier today, and I'm feeling, well, apprehensive, but I think it's gonna be okay.
Elliot, you'll be fine. I will protect you with all I have.
And
And
our
Ruddy's
look.
gonna protect me with all she
Yes.
has.
I suppose Smelly Melly will also show up today. But that's like, no, you shouldn't make fun of him, girls. He lost a lot in the Cobalt crisis. Please, if you see him, ignore him or try to ignore him if he pops up his head. Good, well, we prepared everything for the Feast of Plenty, so I'm glad that everything is set. Now, let's open the
Well,
gates.
actually, about that,
What?
I'm sorry to say, sister, but I fear that on their way here, I found 2 more things that need to be done.
Some of the things that need to be
Yes,
done.
I know. My planning is in complete shambles, and I am
Oh my
ruined.
god.
Right. Who
well,
are you even?
Well,
Well,
let's not get into this again.
okay, well, no. But what needs to be done then?
Well, I heard some noise outside. Besides the cauldron, I saw some creatures skittering about, but I'm not sure what they were.
Creatures?
Yeah, well, don't worry.
Who
they're not
needs
that large.
slaying?
They're not like elephants, but they were larger than rats, at least.
Rats.
Yes. And there was the problem again. What's his name? Lawrence, the
lawnmower.
Yes,
Has
exactly.
the lawnmower gone on strike again?
Again.
Again?
No.
Right.
He was-
Well, we'll tackle one of these issues. Which one would you like? Is it what creatures were it again?
Well, I'm not sure. I saw some skittering about the garden, and they were, well, quite sizable, but
Ooh.
My chicken, maybe? With a chicken?
larger than chickens. Yes.
Oh.
A chicken, yeah? That's fine, I will
what
do
were
that.
What were they called? Like little green skittery things.
Oh,
What do you maybe know what
Green?
this is? Green?
What? That's not a bad.
Goblins?
That's not a bad one, actually. That might be true.
Goblins?
Broccoli?
No, that's what that is. Who knows what a goblin is?
Terrible numbers. Needs to
Oh.
be better. Study
Terrible
up next
numbers.
time. Jesus.
Wow, even my parents don't know. The last show had goblins, so they already forgot. Yeah. Well, which quest would you like to tackle, girls?
Well, which quest would you like us to tackle? Goblins. We're gonna go for the goblins.
Yes, we'll tackle all of those goblins.
Y'all have weird
Look at
taste.
how many of them there are.
Well then, we'll do the lawnmower then.
Yes. Well, let's get quite on it. I fear they might be here in 15 minutes, so we need to be fast.
You have 15 minutes, go.
15. I need another
That's
one.
a lot.
Jessica,
God.
could you pass me my axe?
I'm ready. Your axe.
My
Right.
axe, please.
Power gamer.
As Jessica takes her second sword out, Virgo and Margot run to the door to the
And-
back garden, and it's a huge double doors.
This
It's
one.
beautiful. Well, she can find her sword apparently.
You got a great sword, baby.
Ruddy, you're such a mess.
Where's your
such
greatsword?
a mess.
What? I knew it was there.
Sure.
Oh, it's a big one. So as you open the sliding doors to the garden,
Double doors.
as you open these doors, you hear definitely the sound on your left or on your right. On the right, you hear a skittering of creatures, but these are also very shrill voices. And Ruddy, would you do us the honor of rolling the first die, as you get to make a perception check. Perception check. You can do it yourself. You can pick someone for the audience if you want.
You. Yeah, you with the beautiful lips. Yes, you. Roll it for
Oh
me.
my god. There's flirting amongst the players.
Oh,
And
I got like it.
Ooh.
Ah, come on.
6.
No.
well, as you look at the garden, it's the same way that it's always been. Dewdrops line the garden this morning, and it's quite beautiful. And you know that here tonight, the main ceremony will take place, called the Pool of Plenty, where all farmers offer spoiled fruit to be magically turned into cider in a large cauldron of the two witches. And there, in the center of the garden, between all these beautiful grass figures, you see, or shrubbery figures, you see this large cauldron.
We're gonna
And
get drunk.
when you
The
look
only
to-
thing that you can
Gonna get
hear
drunk.
is a vague
No.
sound coming from behind the cauldron, you think?
We're gonna get tipsy.
Starts with
We're
a-
gonna get tipsy.
What you also see is when you look a little bit to your right, you see that your desired chicken cage is broken open.
I need those for my sacrifices. I mean, chicken dinner.
Doing?
Those are mine. Where's the chicken? Where are the little birds?
As you look around, you don't see any footprints, because chickens don't generally leave.
They have
their-
feet. They have little feet.
Fine, but it's grassy.
Where you go, I'll trick you.
Yeah. However, you do hear a noise behind the cauldron. And then silence.
I don't like this.
Those chickens sound like they're very, very unhealthy.
But I feed them every day and you know sleep, talk them, and you know.
What do you feed them, Ruddy?
Well, the nice little flowers all over the garden. You know, the beautiful stuff.
Like what?
Flowers.
And the stuff we eat, you know, from your.
The chicken dinners?
Oh, that's terrible.
No.
So what are you doing?
Is there
will
something
hide
I can hit?
behind Ellie.
Something you did.
Well, you hear a voice. You hear some sounds behind the cauldron,
And
but
inside,
it's far
yeah.
away. So,
Yeah.
so you're looking at the back garden right now, and to the right you see that your chicken cage is empty, and the cauldron is all the way at the end of the back garden.
This is a gigantic cauldron, so you cannot look in yet.
I am quite big.
Yeah. Roll for me a stealth check.
You're
Ruddy.
about I think 20 meters away right now.
Stealth?
Yeah. See if you're noticed.
It's not. Okay. You. There's a die over there. Can you roll for me?
I think he gets it.
Ouch!
Oh my god, how are you failing this?
How am I failing this?
Yeah, because you're failing this big time, girl. How are you
I am
doing
just-
it?
I think you're in the camp of people who woke up too early. Yeah.
So Ruddy just rolled what we call a natural 1. A natural 1 is when something is going to happen that is not very good. A 20 is the highest thing you can roll, and a 1 is the lowest. So when you roll a 1, there's going to be bad time. So as you talk very loudly out in the open,
Yeah.
you see 2 little heads pop up from the cauldron.
Oh, Jeebles, they spotted us! Ow, Bulbous, oh no! Oh!
Okay, I go over there and I hit them. Well, you know, with this side, like poop.
You walk towards the cauldron, and you see one of the heads disappear, and you go dunk, and you hit them.
Oh no!
That hit you!
Bulbous!
Oh, Jeebles! Roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh.
So you see now that these 2 greenish creatures, they're like yay high, but they're humanoid, and they have these large pointed ears, these flat faces, bulbous yellow eyes.
What was it? 18?
An 18.
Finally, a good one.
An 18-year-old. You duck out of the way as a chicken bone flies past your head. What
I
you
do
see?
believe I know what happened to your chickens.
So, tell me.
Get him, Jeebles! I tried! She missed!
Are we seriously starting this day with my chickens being
What, are we not good enough for you?
reincarnated?
You got another one?
Are
Be
they
like
dead?
a rabbit?
Oh, I could do.
Ruddy,
Yeah.
you know your chicken?
Yeah.
He's off to another place?
Maru, roll dexterity
I
saving
was just
throw.
gonna say.
You in the back in the orange jumper.
Good.
Jumper.
As another chicken bone flies your way, Maru, as you also put your head next to Ruddy. A 12. That's good. You duck out of the way.
You're still there!
Okay, just smack it!
Smack it!
Just walk away!
No.
This is our home! No! Please,
We don't have any food.
Where are my chickens?
No, we don't have any food. Please.
Please, we're innocent! Well, not innocent, but
Innocent.
I'm innocent.
we're innocent!
No, we live in the bush behind the garden, and everything tastes weird there, and the animals are dying.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I don't know.
We live in the bush!
You live in a bush.
Huh?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Ready?
Yeah?
Smash.
No! Jeebles, please, help me.
Oh, we're gonna die together, aren't we?
Such cruel fate.
So, the chicken have gone to another world because of the bush?
No, because I ate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, ow!
I hit them.
Good. Now we'll roll an attack roll for me.
Yes, you got my faith, girl.
It's already hard to take ourselves seriously here.
I'm very serious.
19. You cleave into one of the goblins as blood goes from the goblins, and they go, Jeebles!
And Jeebles just
That's how
goes
you do it.
silent.
I want to stab too. Can I stab it?
Damn, girl. Jeez. Okay, yeah, of course we'll roll an attack roll.
Don't fall.
Don't fall back.
Okay.
And the other one also goes down immediately, like. That's your.
Savage.
So as you're looking at this cauldron, it's now a bloody mess. Chicken bones litter the ground, and there's 2 dead goblins in there, with very little to say to you.
Well,
And
they
now,
can't say anything, they're dead.
yeah, fair.
You see, from the back of your eye, you see Virgo and Margot Laforne apparently chasing a lawnmower that keeps continuously yelling, "Strike, I say! These are not living conditions!"
And this lawnmower just seems to go by itself as the 2 sisters just running behind it like, stop it, stop it!
We should go help.
Maybe we should clean up first.
I'm quite sure this is not sanitary at all for serving alcoholic beverages. I agree.
I already did something today.
Yeah. We should go take a nap.
Revoked.
Good point.
No. You made this mess, young ladies. You'll clean it.
She has a point.
I always
Yeah, she
have
has
a
2
point.
points on her head.
After all, you see,
And they're right. And they're right.
you see
This is
Margot
fine.
Lavorne cast a quick entangle spell as you see her being very frustrated, and she just throws the lawnmower over the hedge. No, Margot! Oh, wretched thing eating my flowers. Girls, how are you doing over there?
We're pretty much
Very
done.
good.
Fine.
Well,
I did something.
okay. Well, I think it's time to let these farmers in.
Okay. I pick up some heads and stuff and bones. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the DM. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. I'm picking up everything and I throw it into the bush.
Oh my god.
So as you take the decapitated kobolds and throw them into a brush of grass, a long patch of grass, I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll
There's
be
all of
fine.
these-
It'll work out.
There's all of these
They're
beautifully
green.
carved like shrubbery statues made by Margot Lavorne. So there's an elephant and there's a goose,
Yeah.
and you just throw it behind the goose. Nobody will notice.
She won't find
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
Virgo and Margot, they walk towards the gate, where you now hear a lot of tumult rising, as almost 200 people stand behind the gate that leads to the back garden.
As you kind of look between the mirrors, or between the windows, you can see now that there's a crowd of at least 100 people in front of the gate on the other side.
Hey.
As you kind of wave, you see a lot of these farmers like. Yeah, so you go back inside, and you prepare to go to the other side of the mansion, to the festival grounds. And as Virgo and Margot walk towards the double doors on the other side, they put their hands on the handlebars and they wait for a second. And Virgo turns to Margot and says, "Do you think she'll be here already?"
Deidre Bonbon? No, she's a city girl. I think she'll be fabulously late.
A city girl?
Well, let's hope
You know,
so.
you know Deidre, right? The reporter we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
I
Well,
just, well. I
are we all
worry a
ready?
little bit.
As ready as we will ever be.
Okay.
Wait.
As ready as we'll ever be.
Well, please.
As ready as we'll ever be.
Try to not
I'm
make a mess
ready,
of
but
this.
yeah.
We're doing our best.
Okay.
All right, position, girls, and Virgo swings the double door open together with her sister. And as she does, they instantly don a beautiful smile as they wave royally to the farmers on the other side. And there's at least 100. There's probably like 150, 200 farmers there, standing with carts and all sorts of livestock in between them. And I say
farmers are
royally,
you?
yes, it's all of you. And as they walk towards the front gate, they open it, and all the farmers slowly start to get into the festival area. As it begins to fill up with these loudly conversing farmers who promptly start setting up stalls for their wares to trade among each other. Big baskets of fruit and vegetables are carried on oxes that pass through the gate, and the scent of autumn hangs in the air as the different farming families visit each other's stalls while laughing among each other. Then, as slowly the crowd thins out near the gate, one figure is left standing after a while, a good 5 minutes or so, between a number of grazing cows.
It's Deidre Bonbon, standing in a long black fur coat and what looks to have a lot of cow poop on her boots.
Oh dear.
Nice.
You have cow poop.
She's about 30 meters away right now. As she looks at you, she smiles kind of faintly, and then she tugs her coat away from one of the cows who started to graze on it.
You still have cow poop.
As you can you do? Oh, you did it already. As she starts walking, you see that she's constantly donning this huge cigar, which she's as a constant trail of smoke trails behind her, but also a small metal helicopter-like device, about yay big. It's a metal orb of sorts, on a chain pulled by the woman's thick fingers. A big mechanical eye adorns the center of this orb, as it makes frantic clicking noises. Can I reach it? Nope. as it makes frantic clicking noises as I just frantically looks about, almost like it's a camera of sorts, and it seems to be buzzing around of its own volition. Then Deirdre looks around and she spots Virgo and Margot, and she instantly puts her arm out. Virgo! Margot!
Deidre.
Pleasure seeing you, pearls around this heap.
Yes. Good. Well, welcome, Deidre, all the way from the big city. These are my children.
As she walks forward, she instantly ignores them for a moment. She's like, come on, give me a kiss first.
A kiss?
Right. Yes, I've heard about these lots. You've had new ones in the house, haven't you?
Jessica is our newest member.
Oh. I'm Jessica Gill.
A city girl, that is.
Yes,
Well.
she'll be doing a performance later.
Oh,
Are you
lovely.
staying to watch?
I love performances.
Ooh.
Sure. As you'll probably know, I am writing an article about this little get-together here. Unfortunately, I'll have to miss the convention of the Witches Association this year, but at least I'll have to get a good look at all these, and she looks around, cows. Well, in any case, mind if I ask you a little bit of questions beforehand?
Well, you can ask us questions. Virgo and me.
Well,
And Jessica.
well, Margot, I know you. It's them that I'm worried about. She kind of instantly brushes past you, kind of grazing you off. She takes a small notepad of a journalist and she starts frantically writing already. Takes a big tug of her cigar and then almost blows it in your face as she gets very close. So, and then turns to Eli first. Gets very close to you, quite uncomfortably so, and she says, "Oh, 1 second." And she says, "So, Elijah, was it?"
Eli, but my friends call me Ellie.
Pleasure to meet you. She puts out her thick hand. Deirdre Bonbon, nice to meet you. Let me tell you, you're one of the few elves left on the Doran side of the front fine line after the war. Why don't you return to your community?
Well, this is my community. These are my sisters. This is my home.
Not necessarily, is it? I mean, these are humans.
Well,
writing down.
They still have magic. I mean, that's something.
She looks quite displeased with herself, flips another note, and says, right. Then turns to Ruddy, as she says, so, we're celebrating that the Cobalt crisis has been over for a while now. We still don't know what happened, though. What do you think? Who do you think caused the Cobalt crisis? Was it humans? Elves? Witches? Nah?
What do you think?
I'm a reporter.
Yeah, so what?
Well, I'm asking you a question.
Oh, well,
Sorry, do I need to remind you that this is for the
think?
Witches Association?
well, I think it's time for a feast now, don't you think? Let's stop dwelling on all those past stuff.
Kind of
That I totally know
her
a lot
gaze kind
about.
of trails off and she's like, yeah, quite.
Yeah, quite,
You,
yeah.
Jessica, city girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think caused it?
Who I think caused
Yeah.
it? That's a very good question. If you think about what happened, and if you combine it with what happened after that, I really think that
Miss Toussaint.
thank you.
Peace.
You see Deidre Bonbon frown at this answer as she isn't particularly impressed yet.
Well, we aren't too, so.
She almost aggressively flicks over another note on the notepad and then turns her gaze, now quite deliberately, to Maru. And she's like, right.
Deirdre, always a pleasure.
Oh, Maru, haven't seen you in a long time.
For the better.
Do you think a stable relationship between humans and elves is ever possible again?
I very much think so. I think that using common sense and using your brains is very important. And by using that, we can solidify a perfectly well relationship between any type of people. Look at this house. We're all doing perfectly fine. I very much
Well.
believe so, Deirdre.
Well, I mean, it is common sense, of course, that due to the elves, witches were also persecuted, just like elves. Magic's in their blood. Now that most Doran people also still dislike elves, are you still comfortable? And now she turns to Eli again. Are you still comfortable with attracting dangerous attention to your family by letting them associate with you?
Me?
No, to Eli.
Surely
that must weigh on your conscience in some way.
Well, I pray for them every day for their well-being, and I help out and do my best, and I wouldn't say it weighs on my conscience.
Deidre, sorry, are you implying that Eli being here, that he should feel bad about putting us in danger?
Oh, Margot, please, I'm a professional.
We are
I'm not
very happy
implying
to have Eli
anything.
here.
Yes. Thank you very much. And we're never in danger when I'm here. True?
Well, thank you, Deidre. I think, do you have enough for now?
Well, I think I'll go talk to the cows. They might give better answers than you lot. It sticks another
She'll be with like-minded
also think
people.
I am gonna get a bit of this feast going.
Well, you should stay. It's Jessica's performance the next. Everybody
it?
gather around. Jessica.
What?
This is our daughter, Jessica.
Hi. Hi.
She's prepared, as the nice girl that she is. We've prepared a dance.
Yeah,
She's prepared a nice dance for
I'm going
us.
to dance for you all.
Well.
But it's my first time.
Suddenly, a sound comes out of the living room inside of the mansion. The sliding doors open magically, and you see a gramophone player almost playing by itself, as suddenly music booms from inside the mansion.
Let's go. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody now. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody. Let's go. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Kill mix. Everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody. Let's go. Yeah. Living in the now. Yeah. 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 Living in the now. Yeah. 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 Living in the now. Yeah. Yeah. You're divine, so am I.
Can I go again?
Let's go. Everybody.
Hey babes! Before you continue watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our D&Drag Patreon, where you can help us develop this crazy show further.
It's